You need to sign these papers, Emma, my mother said, sliding a stack of documents across the kitchen table. I stared at them, my coffee growing cold beside my half-eaten breakfast. The morning after my PhD celebration dinner should have been peaceful. Instead, I was facing yet another attempt to strip away my inheritance. The lake house belongs to Jessica now, my father added from his spot by the window. Your sister needs a fresh start after her divorce, and you've got your career to focus on. My name is Emma Parker, and I was watching my parents try to manipulate me out of my grandfather's most precious gift. The lake house had been my sanctuary since childhood, the place where Grandpa taught me about nature, photography, and most importantly, standing up for myself. No, I said simply, pushing the papers back. Grandpa left the lake house to me for a reason. Mom's face hardened. Your sister has children, Emma. Think about the memories they could make there. You're always traveling for your research anyway. When was the last time you even visited? I bit back a laugh. They had no idea that I'd been spending every weekend at the lake house for the past year, documenting the local ecosystem for my doctoral thesis. Grandpa's old study had become my research base, though I kept that quiet. Last weekend, I replied calmly, and the weekend before that. The lake house isn't just property to me. It's my work, my future, my legacy. Dad slammed his hand on the table. Your legacy? What about family? Jessica's kids need stability. Maybe Jessica should have thought about stability before gambling away her savings. I snapped, immediately regretting my tone. We'd all been pretending her divorce was just bad luck instead of the result of her addiction. Mom pulled out her final weapon. How can you be so selfish? We raised you better than this. Your grandfather would be ashamed. That was the wrong thing to say. Grandpa had spent years warning me about their manipulative tactics. Don't let them guilt you into giving up what's rightfully yours. He told me shortly before he passed. The safe holds the truth. I stood, gathering my things. The answer is no. Then you leave us no choice, Mom said, her tears vanishing like smoke. She pulled out a lighter and held it to the corner of the deed I kept framed on the kitchen wall. Dad looked uncomfortable but didn't intervene. The flame caught, curling the paper as Grandpa's signature disintegrated into ash. There, Mom said triumphantly. Now you have to sign. It's the only way to maintain legal ownership. A strange calm settled over me. You really should have asked about the safe first. Dad's voice cracked. What safe? The one in the lake house basement, the one Grandpa showed me the day before he died, the one containing the original deed, his full will, and I paused at the door. The journals documenting every financial decision this family has made for the past 30 years. Their faces drained of color. They knew exactly what those journals contained: records of their mismanagement, money they'd taken from my college fund to cover Jessica's gambling debts, every manipulative move they'd made. You're bluffing, Mom whispered, but her hands were shaking. I pulled out my phone and showed them a photo of the safe's contents. Grandpa didn't trust you. He kept receipt. Emma, wait, Dad called as I stepped outside. We can discuss this. No, I said firmly. Grandpa's journals have done enough talking. I'll be at the lake house if you need me, but I suggest you think carefully about your next move. As I drove away, my phone buzzed nonstop with messages. I ignored them all. When I reached the lake house, its weathered wooden exterior greeted me like a friend, but fresh tire tracks in the gravel made me pause. The front door was ajar. Inside stood Jessica, holding a box of files from the basement. Looking for something, sis? I asked. She jumped, dropping the box as papers scattered. The safe's contents are already at my lawyer's office. They've been there for months. Mom said the deed was destroyed. She stammered. Mom should know better. Nothing in this family is ever that simple. Her face twisted with frustration. This isn't fair, Emma. You have your fancy PhD, your career. I have nothing since Tom left. My kids need this. I walked to the window overlooking the lake, Grandpa's favorite spot. Your kids need a mother who takes responsibility for her choices, not someone who expects everyone else to clean up the mess. She opened her mouth, but I cut her off. You lost $200,000 at online casinos, money for your kids' college fund, money that Tom discovered missing. Did I miss anything? Jessica deflated onto the couch. How did you? Grandpa's journals. He didn't just record Mom and Dad's schemes. He tracked everything, including the money they took from my college fund to cover your first gambling debt. They said it was from their savings, she whispered. They lied. And they're lying now about the deed. Silence stretched between us. When I asked, When was the last time you played? She flinched. Last night. Lost another 5 grand. I thought, if I got the lake house, we could sell it. Mom said you were being selfish. I opened Grandpa's old desk drawer and pulled out a thick folder. You want to know why Grandpa left the lake house to me? I laid out my photos: birds, nesting, endangered fish, wetland ecosystems. This is my research. 3 universities want to establish a research station here. Grandpa didn't just leave me a house, he left me a purpose. Jessica stared at the photos, tears streaming. I don't know how to stop. Every time I lose, I think the next bet will fix everything. I softened. There's a treatment center in the next town. Grandpa left money for family medical emergencies, an account Mom and Dad can't touch. 6 months of therapy, fully covered. But you have to choose it. Footsteps outside. Our parents. Jessica stood, wiping her eyes. They're going to be furious. Let them be, I said. Sometimes helping family means standing firm. Mom burst through the door. What have you done? But before I could answer, Jessica stepped forward. I need help. Real help. No more hiding. Mom paled. Dad looked defeated as I added, we have proof of everything. Every lie, every dollar mismanaged. Is that really the legacy you want? Silence fell like a stone. A month later, the lake house had become exactly what Grandpa envisioned: a sanctuary and a research hub. Jessica had checked into treatment the very next day. She sent me updates constantly. 90 days clean. Kids visiting tomorrow. Can we use the dock? I texted back. Already set up the fishing poles. Dad visited more now, always with some excuse. Today he brought a wooden box, Grandpa's old camera equipment. I couldn't sell it, he admitted quietly. Even when we talked, really talked. For the first time, he acknowledged their mistakes. He even told me they were selling the country club membership to help pay for Jessica's aftercare program. Mom agreed. I asked, stunned. She's learning, he said. We all are. Later that day, Mom arrived with a container of Grandpa's lake house stew, a peace offering. We looked through my research photos together, and she listened, really listened. I was wrong, she whispered, about everything. The next morning, Jessica's kids raced down to the dock with their fishing poles. Mom fussed over life jackets. Dad baited hooks. Jessica mouthed thank you to me across the deck, her eyes clear and steady. I lifted Grandpa's camera and snapped a photo. Healing, nature, thriving, family becoming something better. In his final journal entry, Grandpa wrote, the lake house isn't about the building or the land, it's about legacy, the choice between preserving what matters and selling out for temporary comfort. Emma will understand. Watching my family on the dock, I knew he was right. I did understand. And now finally they did too.